Are you lost? Or are you looking for something? Walking around here, it's dangerous. This is not recommended for everybody. Kiddos can come along, but they're gonna only have more questions than answers. But that's part of this journey. Enter if you dare. My name is Dakota Frandsen, and this is Specialist of the Strange Radio Show, where we go into various topics of the unknown and bring them to light. And maybe, just maybe, we'll discover something new along the way. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. You're not going to want to miss this.
Tonight we're going to do something a little different. Those of you who have followed my journey so far may be familiar with the term the hunt for infinite Earths. It was a project put together by myself in order to contact beings from other realms, other realities similar to our own. Experiments in order to make contact with one of the most popular examples. One of the more famous examples, I should say, have already been posted online. So tonight what we're going to do, we're going to host a spirit box session and utilize a new method in order to try to contact someone from a parallel world. Then later, you will take apart the video, the audio, you will analyze it, go through previous examples, and release the results. What I ask from you, the listeners, is to listen quietly. And let me know if you hear anything. Excuse me for that. Allergies have been particularly nasty this time of year. I want you all to listen quietly. You may even need to get yourself a pair of earbuds in order to hear it clearly. And I want you to let me know, whether through a message through one of my many social media pages, in the comments section, let me know if you hear anything. Let me know what it is you hear. The recording you are about to hear is raw. No alterations have been made to it whatsoever. I realize that there's only so much that promise can offer, but it is still all I have available under the circumstances. So if you choose to listen in, if you choose to assist, I thank you. And get ready for the first Spirit Box interview with none other than John Constantine.
Hey everyone, Dakota Frandsen here, specialist of the strange. I just wanted to come with you real quick about potentially doing your own podcast. Have you ever wanted to start your own podcast? Maybe you got a lot of questions like, how do I record? How do I get my show into all these apps that are out there? How can I make money? There are probably several thousand other questions about getting this show off the ground that you have been formulating and communicating in your mind. And I'm here to tell you that there is a very simple answer to this. Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, distributing your show. And best of all, it is 100% free. Get all the perks from the other guys without having to pay for subscription fees. And best of all, it is easy. And in fact, Anchor can match you up with sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast right now, which means you can get paid doing what you love. Isn't that the fucking dream, my friends? In fact, that's actually what I'm trying to do right now by reading this ad for you. It is amazing. It helps ease the process for guests, putting on music, whatever you want to do. So if you want to start your podcast, make some money doing it, go to anchor.fm/start to join me and several other fabulous people already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. And I cannot wait to hear you on the air.
John Constantine. Can you hear me, John? Constantine, if you can hear me, give me something. I know I've tried to talk to you before, but the lines of communication are so a little messy, and they need your help, my friend. Can you give me something to prove that it's you? Are you John? Is there anybody else tapping into this communication? Constantine. My name is Dakota Frandsen. I was born on January 19th, 1996. Twin Falls, Idaho, in the United States. There's people who have been watching my materials, John, who can verify that it's you. Can you give me something they would recognize? I'm using all the radio to contact you, to try to amplify your voice to make it easier for others to hear. As well as a little bit of magic of my own. You can try anything you want. But know that, like you, there are forces beyond this world that have kept me going all this time. If you haven't figured that out already. I just want to ask you a few questions. Is that alright? When is your birthday? Where were you born? John, it is currently believed that the reason why you were able to interact with our world and be spotted is because of research materials presented in order to help bring your story to us. Is that true? Did Alan create you? Tell me, is there a way I can physically see you? Or would I need to drop off in Mario, London? I'm putting together a school to teach others how to deal with the things in the shadows. Do you think that would be a good idea? I'd like to get your input, John. Tell me. You probably know this better than I would, but why would you call Lucifer? You think he'd respond? See, this is an experiment to try to contact beings from other dimensions and produce enough of a physical copy of the conversations that happen between us in order to validate the experience. Some thinking can't be done. I think they're lazy. But I guess a weary old man like you wouldn't get that logic. Is there anyone else with you? A while ago, when I first tried to contact you, a message was left for me saying that you wanted to see me. Can I ask you how that was that left it? Sounded like a woman. You know, I was advised not to do this, not to try to reach out to you. Can you tell me why that is? Curious though. Right now, my world, I guess we can call it for now, is starting to let loose. It's starting to try to recover from a pandemic due to a virus that came out of China. Has this affected you at all? case there's something blocking you, there's an angel that assists me. It's Michael. Yes, that Michael. John, here in a little bit, I'm going to try to switch up frequencies, see if there's anything that can help me talk to you clear. Can you give me something to tell me if that's whether or not a good idea? Alright. I am broadcasting this, by the way, so what I'm going to do, how it's going to look right now is it's going to cut off to a commercial break. If you want to talk to me, you can. I'm going to leave this device running. Someone just say something? Like that, I was just like... Right now we're going to go to commercial break. I'm going to switch things up a little bit to see if we can't get John to speak a little louder for us. You stay tuned.
And we're back. Instead of a constant static feed, we had decided to turn on the sweep function of the spirit box to see if we can get any responses. Right now seems like we have primarily interference from local radio stations. To which I'm getting the voice in my head telling me that's probably not a good idea. So what we're going to do is we're going to need to switch from FM frequency to AM. See if that helps. Okay, clearly I got some sort of other interference going. So we're going to try it like this. Constantine, are you there? Get down to a lower frequency. When it comes to spirit box sessions, what I found it tends to be the most helpful is to try to set the frequency to the lowest one possible that doesn't have any noise coming through. I mean, no audio broadcast, no music, no nothing, just pure static. So right now, it is on AM frequency 530. I'm located in Filer, Idaho, to give you a rough idea of the geography. Right now, all we're getting is pure static. With some breaks, like something was trying to come through. That could easily be technical interference from the machines I have near me.
Alright, who was that? Constantine? Who's there? You with me? Seems like we're getting a little bit more action on this frequency. Am I speaking to the same man I was before? John Constantine. I apologize if you already answered this question, but John, a message was left for me on my phone through static, even though I had none going at the time, saying that you wanted my attention. Now, I apologize that it's been a delay, but here's your opportunity to say what you need to say. You know, Constantine, I guess I should ask. In my world, there's a lot of media portrayals of you. Books, comics, movies, TV shows. What's your opinion on that? Quite the popular little celebrity here. Are you aware of how they portray you? What are your thoughts on it? I'm hearing a woman. Yeah. Excuse me. You got someone there with you? Alright, I think we got some interference coming in. I'm trying to change the channel. John Constantine, are you still there? If anyone else is there, feel free to speak up. Is there anybody else there who wants to speak? Alright, I'm not getting the same vibes. All indications are saying that whoever we were speaking to has left the building, so we're going to go ahead and end this. So what's going to happen now? Well, I'll tell you that after the next commercial break. The Hunt for Infinite Earth has provided an interesting prospect, I guess I can call it. John Constantine, for those of you who don't know, is a comic book character from the Hellblazer line of Vertigo Comics. He also appears in... There's also a movie where he was portrayed, where an Americanized version of him was portrayed by Keanu Reeves. Right now, in animated and live-action form, the more popular portrayal is done by Welsh actor Matt Ryan. When Constantine comics first came out, many who were on the writing teams actually came forward and said that they had personal one-on-one encounters with the very person that they wrote about in the comics. Being that John is often described as a person you do not want to be friends with, it's a notion that scared them, even though the character himself, his appearance was actually based on the English musician Sting. Sting is actually very well aware of the connections
and has even made appearances dressed up as Constantine just for the hell of it, as well as for public promotional gigs. This is not a phenomenon that is isolated to one character. Several creatives, even myself, have had experiences where it seemed like events or even the characters that we wrote about in our projects seemingly came to life. A lot of people contribute this phenomenon to tulpas, which is often said to be linked to Tibetan rituals where certain images, certain thoughts are given sentient life through meditation practices. Whether or not this is possible includes a great number of variables that would be very difficult to test within a scientific setting. Now, upon interviews with some of the creatives I told you about, they said that they believed that when they were in the process of creating the character, they would try to focus on every little detail about them, how they would interact with the world, how things would move around them, things like that. Every last little detail they would visualize on for hours and hours and hours on end. For those of you who are curious to see how my creation came to life, you may want to look at some of my earliest book projects under the novel series, The Ones Who Walk All Worlds, where I put myself as the main character. It was originally designed as kind of a biography series about myself, but turned into a bit of a apocalyptic sci-fi adventure type story. Anyway, I may have ended up manifesting, I guess you could say, the woman who I am currently seeing now and intend to marry. So, being that this has had a personal connection and was quoting things from the Constantine TV show, in the comics, they mentioned that the name was actually pronounced Constantine, but everybody calls him Constantine, so that's how the shows and things like that nowadays get portrayed as. There was even a slight little joke about it during the Crisis on Infinite Earths CW event, in which included Lucifer from the Fox/Netflix series. There was even a brief reference to that in the dialogue. More experiments like this are coming forward in the future, to which the sole purpose would be to try to contact and interview beings from other realms. And because this draws inspiration from the CW, Warner Brothers, DC Comics, Vertigo series, blah 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 blah, that's where the name came from, the Hunt for Infinite Earths. And even if you want to dig into the extraterrestrial phenomenon, there's actually FBI files anybody can access on the official FBI archive that state that the other worlds are more like interdimensional planes. So, which begs the question, what the hell is actually going on out there? And can we make contact with these other beings? Some say we can. I say we're going to need to do more tests to find out. Coming soon on my YouTube channel, there is going to be an analysis video of all the experiments done in order to contact Constantine to see if we had any success. Then, later on down the line, we'll move on to our next target. And there's a few that have been listed. Who's that going to be? Well, let's see if we can find out. The criteria is that these individuals would have to have some sort of spiritual sensitivity in order for these things to work. Also, people can try to say it's magic, it doesn't have any rules. Unfortunately, the realms in which they reside must have laws of physics that are close enough to our own in order for these experiments to work. Now, as for if there's any laws in regards to psychic phenomenon, and which this technically does tap into, that has yet to be determined. But nevertheless, more's to come, my friends. So stick around, like, and share this episode. Let me know if you heard anything, and stay tuned for the updates. Because we got a whole lot of interesting stuff coming, my friends. I'll see you next time.